I'm on Patreon, and Patreon is a platform where I will upload interesting videos where you can learn astrology. And this is an exclusive Patreon only membership videos. Connect with me on Patreon and we will grow. And I will give you much more deep insights on Vedic astrology, and lot more secrets will be shared there. Hello Seekers, welcome to Punneit Astrology, your one-stop astro channel. Jupiter, the planet of Vidya, knowledge, wealth, prosperity. Jupiter, the planet which is friendly to, you can say, almost all of the planets except Venus. Such Jupiter, which is in its own zodiac sign of Pisces and inching towards moving out, experiencing the last month in Pisces, will move out of Pisces to the sign of Aries on 22nd of April. Such Jupiter is going combust. It will go combust around 28th of March. Until 27th of April, it will remain in this situation. Now, as per Surya Siddhanta and as per Vedic astrology, the separation between Jupiter and Sun should be around 11 degrees for Jupiter to remain combust. That means 11 degrees when Sun is behind the Jupiter and 11 degrees when Sun is ahead of the Jupiter. So with respect to Jupiter, the Sun must cover 22 degrees in the sky, and for that period, Jupiter will be in the combust state. Now this is definitely around 22-23 days of combustion, and also combustion or asta or lopa, which means invisible, being lost. This state is because of Surya. No other planet creates a combustion. It is only the Sun, the Surya, that creates a combustion. Again, the phenomena of Jupiter lopa, Jupiter asta, is basically an optical illusion. How? Let's understand in brief. So when Jupiter comes very close to Sun, within 11 degrees, then Jupiter is invisible in the sky. So even if we try to see Jupiter from our naked eyes, we won't be able to see. Imagine trying to see the stars during the daytime. You won't be able to see any star in the daytime because the diffraction of the sunlight, which creates a blue sky phenomena, which is also an optical illusion, because all the rays of all colors are scattered and only the blue color reaches our eyes. That is why the sky and the ocean looks blue. But because of this diffraction, because of the amount of the sun rays reaching our eyes, and because of the clouds and atmosphere, we can't see the stars. Now, see the moon landing, see the photos from Mars. You will understand why the atmosphere creates this diffraction. And why I'm saying that this is an optical illusion, because combustion is also a kind of an optical illusion. It is called perceived weakness of any planet. And the problem is that if we try to perceive anything, we tend to create our reality around that planet, and we try to see things from the glass of the negativity. Even if the end goal of the planet is very strong, we tend to see the negative side of the planetary behavior rather than the grand design. So whenever a planet is combust in the transit or in your own natal chart, you must see the grand design, you must believe in the end result, because if you try to go deeper into the process, for you that planet itself is invisible, and if something is not even envisioned, you won't be able to decipher the true process, the true working principle of that planet. The intent of the planet will be lost. And this is exactly what will happen when Jupiter, the Mahaguru, the Devaguru Brahaspati, will become combust. Combust is a phenomena which I've already explained in a video. You can see the card here, which you can watch after you watch this video. That will give you a brief idea what really a combustion is by definition. And you also have to understand that in Shastra it is written that the combustion of any planet, or the planet being lopa or asta, reduces the strength. Now I have to clarify, this strength do get reduced but planets don't get burnt. This is something which the word combustion brings. Combustion means to burn something. Phenomena of burning. Planets don't get burnt. When you can't see the stars in the daytime, will you say that the stars got burnt? Or because of the sunlight, because of this optical illusion, because of the overwhelming presence of the sun, and he is the king, so he will take over the limelight, you can't see anything else. Everything is behind the scene. Everything is lost in the limelight of Surya. And that is why this is important. And do you know why it is said to be negative? Because Surya represents ahankar, ego, pride, being the power, being the authority. Anything where authority dominates, and if it is not a Ram Rajya, then that will become negative. Wherever you have a lot of ego taking over other attributes of your life, it will be negative. But sometimes it is necessary, because a king has to lead to protect the kingdom. He has to lead from the front and take all the problems to himself. That is the character of the true king. But on the other hand, if this is ahankar, a negative ahankar, ego has to be there, but if it is a negative ahankar, it is going to kill the attribute, or will not allow the attribute of that planet to come in the limelight, so that you won't even know that there is another planet that has a unique importance. There is something else in your life. So it hogs the limelight, and then it doesn't allow you to see or have any other perspective in life. So combustion is a very unique and a very important, and for me, Astagraha is more important than Vakri Graha, because Astagraha completely blocks your vision and then changes your perspective in spite of the planet being present there. That means you will reject the possibilities of that planet, you will reject the attributes of that planet from your life, and the zodiacs ruled by that planet will feel the absence, the weakness. It is like you have everything, but you still feel you don't have anything, and this is heavily seen through moon sign. If anyone has a weak moon, any combustion of a planet will affect that native much stronger, because again, remember, combustion is a tattva which affects your lagna definitely, but then it also changes the perspective, and the perspective building is the attribute of the mind, and mind is controlled by the moon. So when Jupiter goes combust, it means that the Gyan is in lopa. Ahankar takes over Gyana. Ego takes over knowledge and responsibility, and that is a negative thing. You also have to see in which zodiac Jupiter is getting combust. What is the progress of this combustion? What are the other planets involved? And what's happening in the sky space? Let's talk about that. Jupiter is in Pisces. Pisces is the own zodiac sign of Jupiter. And Sun has entered Pisces, and till 14th of April, Sun will be in Meena Rashi. When Sun is progressing in the Meena Rashi, it is making this Jupiter in its own house go combust. That means inferiority complex will be on the rise, sensitivity of the mind will be on the rise, financial losses will be on the rise, and wrong decisions on the basis of fear will be on the rise. Like you can see what is happening in the market. Fear is inciting losses. Bhed chal. Bank run is what? One is pulling out, so I will also pull out. It is market sentiment. This sentiment is getting impacted because Sun is actually weak in the sign of Pisces. A king would not like to give up his kingdom. And the king is marching towards Aries, walking over Jupiter. That means the fear is so high, the anxiety is so high, the deficit and the fear of being in a loss or a deficit is so high, and the target to reach the goal, a target to be somebody, a target to acquire something is so strong that the Sun will keep the knowledge aside, and in spite of all the warnings, in spite of all the awareness, there can be certain decisions which can be negative for you, which can be negative for the nation, which can be negative for the society. Now, this doesn't mean that Jupiter is not functioning. Jupiter is functioning. But because the Ahankara takes over, you can say, this is how the Ravana got killed. Ravana was Vidwan. Ravana had the knowledge of Tantra and Vedas. He was the Mahashiva Bhakta. He was having the blessings of Jupiter. But the Ahankar got him killed. Ahankar is going to blind you and blind your knowledge and your experience and your wisdom. And this Ahankar will come from the zodiac Leo, wherever Leo is placed in your birth chart. Because this is the unique characteristics of combustion. Leo gets triggered. Also, you have to see that Jupiter will make its move in the sign of Aries. And Jupiter will be around 1.5 degree when it will move out of combustion. That means you won't even realize when Jupiter is crossing the Gandanta of Revati and Ashwini Nakshatra. Means you won't even realize when you have started struggling and running for finances and money in your own personal space if you don't give proper attention to how your attitude is during this time. Let's take an example. Somebody is asking, there's a customer coming in. You are frustrated in your own life. You have 10 different problems. But in your store, if a customer is coming in, you have to respect the welcoming. You have to welcome the Mahalakshmi. But in spite of that, in spite of knowing everything, in spite of writing on the, if you see in India, there's a lot of places where it is written customer is God. In business, that is what you say. But then you tend to overpower the presence of the customer. You might speak rudely because you have a problem. You have a genuine reason, doesn't matter. Your reaction was disproportionate. And because of that disproportionate reaction, you tend to lose your business. Ego, ahamkara, created a financial problem. Fear, tendency to reach somewhere, will create miscalculations. It is also dangerous for the world right now, considering the situation. We must control our mind during this time. Everyone who has a weak moon must chant Vishnu Sahasranam so that their mind is guided by the divine light, because even the sun is nothing in front of Bhagwan Ganesh and Bhagwan Mahavishnu. And if you feel that you are facing a lot of obstruction, you are facing a lot of fear, and there are financial problems, then chant simply, just pray Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarva Karyeshu Sarvada, and ask divine Bhagwan Ganesh, bow down your head and pray. Do the Nama Japa. Because if someone is lost, you will try to call the name. If there is Akash who has lost, you will say, hey Akash, where are you? If Rohini is lost, you will say, Rohini, where are you? That means if Jupiter is lost, call Jupiter. You will get an audible response. Now, through knowledge, you know that during daytime, the stars are not lost. This information comes through education and the knowledge of physics. So, Gyan creates a kind of a, you can say, power which breaks this optical illusion of combustion. So before taking any decision about Jupiter, about your life, about finances, about childbirth, about marriage, first of all, marriage won't even happen. There will be no muhurta, if I believe. You will have to see, you will have to take the name of Jupiter, you will have to take the name of Mahaguru, Brihaspati, and through knowledge, know everything. Something that is not even possible for you to see. That means going beyond the obvious, not believing in your senses, but relying on the data. That is how you will have to proceed. But relying on data also means verification of data. verification of the source. Now, why this verification is necessary? Because Sun after 14th April and then 14th April till 27th of April will create a combustion of Jupiter from Aries zodiac sign. Now, Aries is the zodiac sign of exaltation of Surya, where there is Rahu. So, it will create a Rahu-Surya conjunction. On 20th of April, there will also be a solar eclipse in Aries. I know it will be visible only in certain part of, I think, south of the world, like near Australia. But because it is an astrological phenomena, that eclipse creating a combustion of Jupiter is a very negative thing. It means the adharma or the ajnana is overpowering jnana, is overpowering dharma. So you should do a lot of mantra jap, you should do a lot of chanting, you should pray to God more than you will usually do. What this will do is it will create jnana in your own mind that will break myths, illusion, anticipation, any kind of doubt, because that is how the tamasic energy will increase. You should also quit smoking, drinking, you should quit non-vegetarian food, and if possible, eat extremely sattvic, low-calorie diet, do a lot of puja, forget about dharma, forget about rituals. Just for the sake of your own physical health, you should do it. Because if Jupiter is combust, it is also going to affect metabolism in many people. It will affect liver in a lot of people. It will increase the pitta tattva. Acidity will be a problem, which also makes us realize that this is a summer time and the summer can be very daunting. This can create spells of dryness, which can burn the crops, because now the crops will not grow. There is no visible crops on the ground because of the heat of the sun, which will affect food-related shortages throughout the world. And I'm not talking for one country or one place. This is a possibility. Let's see what happens. But combust Jupiter will have an year-long impact. That is why this combustion is important. Remember, Rahu is heavily involved in this combustion. Now, when Rahu gets involved with Surya, it is like black clouds covering the sun. So, Rahu sometimes overpowers the sun also. Temporarily, but it does. And if you can't see stars during a broad sunlight and a clear sky, you don't see stars even in the night when there are clouds. That means presence of Rahu or presence of Chaya can also create a kind of a combustion or non-visibility by giving you this fog of ajnana. So that is how important jnana is during this time, knowledge, knowing something. It doesn't matter in which area of life you want to see. Career, know everything first. Half knowledge, anticipation, assumptions is only going to lead you to faults and losses. Don't think short term during this time. Always think long term. What will happen at best? Few decisions will go wrong. But precaution is better than cure. It is better to try to get the knowledge and find a solution rather than jumping into any conclusion. That is why data is extremely crucial during this time. Astrology will help, definitely it will help, but not everybody can rush to astrologers. Not everybody has the possible access to astrologers. So what should you do? You should talk to your elders. See, one thing you have to understand, combustion will affect, but as your age progresses, wisdom and knowledge increases, your experience will protect you. Something that can work in combustion is the experience of the mind. Say for example, if someone is heavily experienced in a certain task, whenever a junior person gets stuck, just because of the sheer experience, that person can guess what would happen and that gives the solution. That is how you can beat the combustion. But a young generation, somebody who is less than 40 years old, will not be able to fight the combustion of a planet, will not be able to fight the Astagraha. For them, it is a reduction of the strength. And because of this reduction of the strength, fear rises. Adharma rises. When Jupiter goes into the Lupta Avastha, it is lost. The Asuras are going to feel. Now, I'm not talking about a person. I'm not talking about any area. I'm talking about the inner energy within you. Remember, Asuras and the Devas both resides within us. We are no different. This is a mixture of Triguna, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. If Sattva is Deva, Tamas is Danava, Rajas is combination, Rajas is Manushya. It is a combination of both. 99.9% of population focuses in the broader spectrum of the Rajas Tattva. Jupiter is going to reduce the Sattva because of its combust nature, and because of the combust nature of Guru, and because of the overpowering of the Sun. You have to be very careful about the events in your life that originates from Simha Rashi, Leo zodiac sign. Because any anger, any anticipation, any fear that originates from Leo part of the horoscope will start affecting the Pisces and Aries part of the horoscope. And then from 22nd of April, when Jupiter goes into the sign of Aries, it creates a Guru Chandala Yoga. I know the combustion will last only for 5 days, but imagine when Guru opens his eyes, or you realize the Guru, it was in Pisces before, it got lost, and now when it comes back, it is with Rahu. What can save you? Technology. You have to use Rahu, Guru together in unity, in form of technology, in form of extra knowledge, something that is going beyond the obvious. I will explain Guru Chandala Yoga or Rahu, what is the effect of the Guru transit in my Jupiter transit video, which will come soon. But here at least you have to understand that once the Guru becomes Uday, that means Jupiter comes back into the vision, Rahu will dominate. So, someone who has Moon Rahu conjunction, Jupiter Rahu conjunction, Sun Rahu conjunction, if your Lagna Lord is with Rahu, then you will have to be very careful about your decisions that you make after the combustion. So, this overall picture of Jupiter being Asta is not that positive. But then we have to change our perspective, because it is all a game of mindset, and that is how this Asta Graha will work for you. Say for example, if someone who is a Dhanu Lagna, Sagittarius ascendant or Sagittarius moon sign, the 9th lord will overpower the 4th house. So you might suddenly feel that it is your dharma. It is your dharma to change your house, to sell off your property, to buy a new car. So any activity done related to the 4th and 5th house with respect to 9th house will be negative for you. Don't react to it. It may be a necessity, fine. I'm not saying that you should not do. Do it with proper data. Like you know where you are headed, you know what will be the outcome, and you have verified your motive and your intention with someone who is experienced. Simha Lagna. If you are a Leo moon sign or Leo ascendant, what will happen? Your own physical presence will try to dominate the 8th house. That means you will spend your own physical self. Maybe you are not sleeping. Maybe you are spending too much time on your work, trying to catch the uncertain. Why will you do that? This is the time when you should focus more on learning. This is the time when you should focus more on things that will help you understand your life better. Spiritual growth is very important for Simha Lagna. For Aries, you will see that Jupiter will have a walk from your 12th to the 1st house, and your 5th house will dominate. This is going to increase the pride in your mind. This will create losses through transportation. This might create trouble and extra expense because of a medical issue in the family. This might have another travel involved. You will try to stop the mantra jap during this time because you will feel that there is no point. Well, don't do that. Continue the process. For Karka Rashi, Cancer moon sign, if you observe, the presence of Jupiter will be in the 9th house. But who is dominating? 2nd lord. Now 2nd lord, when it dominates in the 9th house, money is dominating dharma. You might choose the path of adharma, or you will lose the track because of the demand or the needs of the family. Maybe a monetary demand is asking you to gamble. Maybe a monetary demand, or maybe a greed, or maybe a need or necessity is forcing you to take a wrong path. You should not do that. You should be very, very careful there. For Vrishchik, Scorpio moon sign, and now possibly for Scorpio ascendant. Pisces is in the 5th house, and then Jupiter has a walk from 5th to 6th. Your 10th lord overpowers it. Events in the office and maybe your limelight, your fame itself grows so much. Your prestige is so much that it kills your knowledge, it kills your wisdom, and then it creates your enemies. Maybe you are fighting for your ego. It is very, very dangerous time for Scorpio moon sign, because for you, it will be a war for ego, it will be a war for existence, and you may justify that. But what about Jupiter being your 5th and 2nd lord? It will make you lose money. It will make people question your knowledge, and it will reduce your credibility. So be very careful from that part. For Pisces, well, it is your Lagna lord. It is going to impact your overall health, family life, personal life, finances. For Pisces, it is going to be a time where your 6th house lord is overpowering the Lagna. Now there is a catch. On one side, this might indicate that you will ignore your health issues, which might later on become something big. You might ignore the red flags, and you might not understand who your true enemy is, and that will bring out the negativity. But this also means that prarabdha karma will dominate you, so you'll be forced to do certain things in life, and you will be forced to spend money or do something for someone, whether you like it or not, and this will become like a forced karma, like a prarabdha karma. In a way it is good, but then knowledge is necessary, awareness is necessary. You must also understand that the relationship between Pisces, Leo, Aries, because that is how the combustion will play out. With respect to Leo, Pisces is 8th from itself. So Leo and Pisces have a Shadashtaka formation, 6-8 formation, not a great formation. That means Leo is bound to bring transformation in Pisces and Aries. So definitely there will be a transformation. Our intention is to keep this transformation positive and not negative. This is going to create strong changes, because whenever 8th lord starts creating a combustion, uncertainty will overshadow. Nothing will be certain. You will always be on a fight or flight mode, and that might create many issues. But whoever moon is strong, if your mind is strong, you will see that you will have a much stronger hold of the situation. Because combustion is an annual phenomena. This is a phenomena which you will see every year, once a year. So it is not something very out of the blue, like an event happening in 500 years, but it is an important event in the year. Whenever Jupiter goes combust, you will have to be very careful. You might make investments which can be very difficult to recover. This might impact banking, finance, communication industry. You will see education policies changing, nations breaking, geopolitics showing twists and turns, and some events never happening before. And that is when the air zodiac sign comes into play. For Gemini, your 3rd lord will overpower your 10th lord. The position of Jupiter is in the 10th house, which is actually good for you, and the Jupiter will move in the 11th house, which is actually more better. I will say better for you, it's fine. But when 3rd lord overpowers, this is, now here it is where you can say that too many cooks spoils the dish. Overdoing anything, personal, professional, sometimes when you overdo anything, it is definitely going to become bad. It is only going to become worse. So you should know the proportion of your efforts. You should be very careful how you talk. Over speaking something can destroy the career. Over attempts, repeated attempts, more than required attempts will kill your time, will affect your career and source of income. Repeating something many times or forceful repetitions will irritate you. And if it is an Aquarius zodiac sign, it means that your business, the circumstance will become so strong that it will affect the way you eat, the way you deal with family, the way you deal with finances, the way you talk, the way you behave. The circumstance is going to make you insecure. There is no insecurity in reality, but still you will feel insecure. So what should you do? Keep focusing on the blessings of Bhagwan Narayan. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And if you are Libra, your 11th Lord will dominate Jupiter, which is your 3rd and 6th Lord. Upachya houses. So one Upachya house Lord is dominating the couple of Upachya houses, then going into the 7th house. It will affect a lot of people trying to get into a certain role or domain, especially if you are into higher designation. You will see there will be quite a fight, quite a competition. There will be so much of struggle. This can also affect businesses, especially business related to Jupiter, business related to Rahu, government contracts. You might have a war with the authority during this time. Be very, very careful. And for the Earth zodiac sign or countries that is ruled by Earth zodiac sign, for Taurus, the Sukha Bhava Lord dominates the 11th house. You want to become so comfortable, you might quit your job. You will look out for your own place so much that you might miss on the opportunity. Well, success do not flourish in a comfort zone, and that is what you have to remember. That is something you have to tell to yourself always. For Virgo moon sign, this is very unique. This is when your subconscious mind tries to dominate the 7th house. Now, this is heavily going to affect manifesting power. This means you will manifest negativity out of thin air, so you must be very positive. But on the other hand, the loss of Jupiter can also make you highly uncomfortable with wherever you are, or heavily comfortable and ignorant of what situation you are in. Both are wrong. So Virgo moon sign has to be double careful during this time because it is your 12th house, which means it can introduce losses in business, or your attitude can introduce loss in business. Bring necessary changes immediately that is in sync with the market, that is in sync, in tune with the line of business. Do not introduce new products, don't start a new business in this time. And if you see, for Capricorn, it is going to challenge your authority, it is going to challenge your way of work, your ability. Because it is your 8th Lord causing a combustion on 3rd Lord. Now, this is very unique for Capricorn. Why? Because 3rd house is 8th house from the 8th house. So you can say it's the higher octave. So it is a war within, it is a fight within. You will question your own stake, you will question your own steps, you will question yourself too much during this time. It can also create a fight for inheritance between brothers. You have to remain just humble. You must trust Saturn, which is in the 2nd house. You must trust the position of Saturn, which will heal you. So this is the time to just stay silent, float in the ocean of knowledge, and focus on research work. People involved in research work will do great benefits. Take your time. Spend 1 month in learning something. And you will see you will pass this combustion of Jupiter with a lot of ease. So overall, the combustion of Jupiter is all about a fight for perspective, and because of that change in mindset, if decisions are made, see, as long as something is in the mind, it is in the mind. If it changes your character, if it changes your personality, and if it translates into karma, you will face the consequence of that karma, and then other planets gets involved. So if something is cooking in the mind now, keep it in the mind. Don't bring it out. Don't allow that to change your personality unless you are sure of what you're doing. Cross-verify, Talk with people who are learned. Talk with astrologers, talk with mentors, talk with guardian, talk with father, mother, anyone whom you want to. And this is true for even astrologers, academics, learned professionals. Because Jupiter is Vidya, knowledge. Everyone must focus on their own core competencies and core knowledge during this time, and that is how you will be able to fight. Because it is not just a simple combustion, it is a combustion where Jupiter rises with Rahu in the same nakshatra of Ashwini. So there will be a lot of eagerness. And you must fight this tamasic energy with Nam Jap. Hare Krishna.